And you know, the Manchester Road Race attracts all kinds of runners, from world-class competitors to joggers, and probably a fair amount of people who don't even run at all.
If that's you, well, fellow couch potato and Fox 61's Tim Lammers is here to help you prepare. He recently spoke with Ken Bruno, a triathlete who is also a site manager for Hartford Healthcare's Rehabilitation Network. And Ken gave out some road race tips for non-runners.
Is that a bad idea for somebody who's not a runner to say, I'm going to wake up today on a cold day and go run 4.7 miles?
Probably. You have a hill in there, and it's something that you really want to make sure you're not going after too hard, especially if you're just coming off the couch. You probably should have been doing the training prior to, but you know, running 2 days, 1 day before the race to really try to get ready is not going to help you.
Are you going to eat spaghetti? Do you have to eat pasta the night before? Do you even have to carb load?
No, not for this.
So you're telling me I shouldn't go eat a pound of pasta the day before?
No, absolutely not.
Come on, man.
I'm Italian. I love pasta. That's not a good idea. I mean, a 4.5 to 5 mile run, you probably be able to do okay. Even, you know, the amount of water that you need to drink, you probably can get away with not having a drink during the race.
If I want to stop and have a beer at the Hungry Tiger right after I turn left.
On you. That's totally on you.
And for the non-runner, what should they be doing to loosen up beforehand?
Your hip flexors, your quads, your glutes, hamstrings, all that stuff is going to be really involved.
What about after the race?
The challenge with this specific race is that people will tend to jump in their car and go to Thanksgiving dinner. You know, so that's a little bit of an issue. If you can take a little bit of time, make sure you get some water in, you stretch a little bit.
Sometimes people want to dress up in costumes that are skin tight. Is that actually going to create any sort of either circulatory problem or a problem with being able to sweat?
Generally, the types of clothing, you know, anything that's Lycra is going to be able to move with you a little bit. The stuff you run into problematically is when people dress like stovetop stuffing and they have, you know, weird straps in a box that's cutting them in the neck.
What are some of the things you've seen that you can't unsee?
There was an entire family of elves running at one point. There was a guy who was running in only a loincloth at one point.
I'm glad it wasn't windy that day.
Definitely. It was cold. It was very, very cold.
How about right before the race? Should people eat anything beforehand if they're not an athlete?
You know, that's kind of a personal preference. They should probably have tried that beforehand. If you don't, you'll get a couple of miles in, and that's going to really go bad for you. Yeah,
probably.
And
yes.
Maybe the people around you.
Ooh, that was a little TMI. Thank you.
And if you can't make it out to the race, Fox 61 has you covered. Thanksgiving morning, our road race coverage starts at 9 a.m. Please join us for this tradition.